Nolan.
Coach.
It's Howie Rosen from the Eagles. How you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing, man?
You know, I'm a Florida Gator. Do you know how much this hurts my soul to take all these Georgia Bulldogs? You know?
Hell yeah, you want to win, though. You want to win.
I do want to win. I do want to win, my man. You're right. I do want to win more than you know.
Yeah, there was a time when it made sense to draft a bunch of Florida players. Now,
not now.
It's the Mike Mayock approach. Go draft players from the best team around. Remember, he was doing that with Clemson and Alabama in Vegas and Oakland years ago, and now it's Bulldog time in Philadelphia. Plenty of Georgia players snatched by Howie Roseman and company, and you know, I think there's also, in a weird sort of way, to the extent that you got guys that maybe need a little positive support system, having teammates around, you know, I think having Nolan Smith there is going to help Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
I think it will.
Definitely. Agreed.
And, you know, a little familiarity. It's a big transition. You got a friend there. You got a guy there who has had nothing but rave reviews, character, smarts, everything. He can be the example. He can be the support. He can be the friend to help nudge Jalen Carter in the direction that they need to get him to get the most out of his physical abilities.
Agreed. I mean, that you got Jordan Davis there, you know, the top 12 pick from last year, 13th, sorry. So he's there. They play the same position. He's going to be able to bring him along. Nakobe Dean was the quarterback of that Georgia defense for a lot of years, and I think the leader of that group altogether. So he's going to be there, too, to help out. It's the perfect spot. Fletcher Cox, who's already he's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle. He works hard. He does everything right. He knows about the fabric of Philadelphia and everything that goes into it. So he's got a great spot to develop, learn, not have pressure, have the right people giving them advice. And I mean, holy crap. What can I say? Holy crap, what Philadelphia is doing. First off, I got a giggle out of Howie Roseman every time they showed him on the thing, because I love every time they made the pick, like the whole organization had to come in there and pay homage to King Howie and the great pick he was about to make. I thought that was hilarious. But they should. I mean, it's just, he's killing it. I put a tweet out on Friday night, like, stop. Like, I'm a Giants fan, stop. Like, it's ridiculous. It's illegal team building. I'm throwing a flag. Illegal team building. 15-yard penalty. I mean, holy crap. Everybody they got is a difference maker. It's the best roster in football, and they had the best draft in football, and really it's not even close.
And they swiped DeAndre Swift, from the Detroit Lions. He clearly became the odd man out once the Lions drafted Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
Swift, out goes Swift because they paid David Montgomery in free agency, got him away from the Bears. So Swift was obviously the odd man out. And the Eagles entered the fray. Number one, he's from Philly. They've known him since he was in high school. He's been in the building before. And as Howie Roseman explained it after they did the trade, and all they did, they dropped 30 spots in round 7 and gave up a 2024 fourth-round pick to get DeAndre Swift. Now he's in his contract year. But week 1 of 2022, this is what Howie pointed out. He tore him up. Eagles won the game by 3 points, but Swift had 144 rushing yards on 15 carries. They couldn't touch him. They couldn't stop him. And now he's part of that backfield in Philadelphia. They had lost Miles Sanders, and that's why we were thinking, well, maybe they'll go Bijan Robinson. Maybe they'll do something like that. Maybe they'll draft a guy early, because who really stands out? I mean, all due respect to Kenneth Gainwell, but, their best running back left. Who's their best running back now? Swift has a chance to be it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Gainwell finished strong. I don't know if he's your every down guy, but then you got Rashad Penny, who has a chance to be something. We know he's on the roster, and then DeAndre Swift, who's like exactly like Rashad Penny. It's like, man, the talent's there. Can they just stay healthy, right? And Penny more so than Swift. But yeah, Swift can do it all. And to me, he is definitely an upgrade from Miles Sanders. Swift is awesome in the pass game. He's got a little more size than a Miles Sanders. He can run with a little power, and, of course, he's explosive and elusive out in the space. So that's where it'll be great. Just the Eagles, it's incredible what they've done with the roster. It really is. I mean, throughout. Both sides of the football, they got depth. They got planning for the future. They got everything working there. They really do. You know, even the O-lineman from Alabama at guard, that was one area of the team. You went, oh, man, they can maybe use a little depth or help there for the future. They got that done. You know, they lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They get Sidney Brown, who was my favorite strong safety type in the whole draft out of Illinois. He's one of the crazy Illinois secondary guys to go on with Devin Witherspoon. So I just can't say enough about what they did. They're killing it right now, and Howie's on fire.
And I forgot about Rashad Penny. I mean, he's a boomer bust guy.
He is, right?
Leg last year, ankle fracture. Had a great year, came on late in 2021 for the Seahawks, but still, they've got that rotation. They get Swift. You're right, it doesn't feel fair. They are clearly the best team right now in the NFC. They were the more talented of the two teams that we saw in the Super Bowl. They did have some turnover this year via free agency, but boy, it feels like they are reloading for another run. And it's never easy for the team that goes to the Super Bowl and loses to try to go back. It's just you've got the target on you, and everyone's out to get you. You got tougher schedule, bigger games, more primetime games, more pressure, greater expectations. But it feels like they're doing everything they can to build something sustainable. We talk about the Chiefs as the current dynasty. Maybe we're going to see Chiefs and Eagles cross paths.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked.
Maybe a couple more times in the Super Bowl over the next 5 years.
They're not going anywhere, either one of them. I mean, we talked about the Chiefs have one of the youngest teams in football. I mean, so they're here, and we know with 15 at quarterback, they're gonna be there. You know, they just got a problem, and right now, like we talked about last week, the AFC is as good as it's been since the 70s. I mean, it's the best I've ever seen the AFC. So that's the problem. And then the NFC, it kind of seems like it's two teams are king. And it's like, can anybody really compete with those two teams? It doesn't feel like they can. And, you know, I don't know. This team here, I think, took the mantle as the real king right now in Philadelphia. And, you know, 49ers got a little more work to do there to be in that class.
The Patriots used to be the kings of the AFC East, the AFC, and the NFL. They have questions about quarterback. They didn't draft one this weekend, so that means they're fully committed to Mac Jones, right? We'll delve into that when PFT Live continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.